Right, so we've had a look at the polls. John, you're always telling me there's no movement, it's just sampling error. You're going to sing the same tune?
Yes, I am going to sing the same tune, Graham. I think that...
I even put a worm on it for you.
Yes, and I think that's fantastic, although I think you need to sort of, get Disney to redo the worm for you.
Look, it's not animated.
It's not animated, no. But look, I think that the trends are there, and there really has not been very much movement. So it's run by, 25 seats.
25 seats. Dale?
Oh, I never comment on polls. Isn't that what you...
Oh, sorry, was I supposed to say? Oh, I never comment on polls. There's only one poll that counts.
Okay, all right. Well, you and I can have a good conversation here.
I just think, if you don't like this week's, wait till next week's, and you can get a trend from one of them. I mean, I can always find one I can take comfort from and one I don't want to know about, and I think everybody's much the same.
Okay.
I'm finding this in the Australian. Dennis Shanahan in the Australian seems to be taking comfort from every sort of slight movement back towards the government.
Well,
I don't understand it.
Perhaps he is, but what about that other poll that we put up there on interest rates? I thought that was interesting because it showed me a couple of things. One was that almost half of people weren't really engaged with the issue, but out of the half that were, some of them were more inclined to vote for the government, some of them were more inclined to vote for the opposition, and vice versa.
Well, one of the commentators actually said, I think it was a bloke called Graham Young, said that this is a vote intensifier, not a vote changer, interest rates.
Might as well have a conversation with myself. Dale, you got anything to say on that?
Well, I still think there are a lot of people, and I'd include myself in it at times, who vote who express the opinion in a poll as to what the issue is today rather than what the overall issue is. I mean, I don't really trust any polls until maybe the last couple of days, because I think people actually do respond to who said what on that particular day, and whether there was a good ad or a bad ad, or whether they were comfortable with what one of the pollies said, or if they thought someone was being unfairly attacked. I really think people respond a lot more at that level than sit down and analytically think about, do I want this or do I want that?
Okay, all right. Well, maybe we should hold this over for a couple of weeks in that case.
Oh, no, we wouldn't have as much fun examining the entrails.
So the next thing that we're going to do is look at how the internet's dealing with this campaign, and we've got a couple of pieces for you to look at.
在我边防军北上部队濒临高平城下的时候，我驻靖西县的部队从另一个方向朝高平压过来。这时，高平的越军要想冲出我军的包围，只能向西南方向逃走。我边防军不顾山高路险，一路猛跑，在越军还未赶到纳龙之前，越南军队侵犯中国边境地段就达160余处，武装挑衅700余次。打死打伤，把高平以北以东的地区分割成几块，所以高平溃逃的越军都落入我军布下的天罗地网，逃不出覆灭的下场。武装挑衅700余次，打死打伤中国边境居民300余人。中国人民解放军边防部队为了制止越南当局的侵略，捍卫国家领土主权，在我国广西边境的友谊关附近有一个越南重兵把守的地区，叫同登。在这里驻扎着越军步兵第3师第12团。这是个被越南当局他们炮击我边境上的村庄，枪杀我国边民，侵占我国领土，曾狂妄的叫嚷，打到友谊关吃早饭，打到南宁去过春节。
我和我夫人，我们80年代跟我们的小女孩到北京去工作，我们的国家是我们最尊敬的客人，希望你们能够休息。
1979年2月17日早晨，我军边防部队攻打同登的战斗打响了。这是一场有限的边界冲突。世所周知，中越两国本来是兄弟之邦，两国人民从来是友好的。在越南人民为民族的存亡而战的时候， 中国人民节衣缩食，给越南人民以慷慨无私的援助。
How to make a scare campaign, Australian Liberal Party style. First, find some deeply disturbing music with threatening undertones. Continue this throughout the commercial. It lends a subliminal sense of menace and foreboding. Next, find a voice
that is male, deep, paternal, and speaks at a hypnotic pace. Now find photographs of your subject that show them in the most unflattering light. Make them black and white. Now, make them grainy to further enhance the menace. Introduce red, the color of alarm and danger, into all your backgrounds. Now repeat phrases laden with dark meaning. Heavies, thugs, union bosses, takeover, domination. Now add the Liberal Party logo and say, authorised by Big Lockname for the Liberal Party, Canberra.
Welcome back. So there was some great video there. John, the first one that we looked at, the propaganda, in inverted commas, movie, it works on so many levels, doesn't it?
It is multi-layered, Graham. It is multi-layered. I mean, those of us who are fortunate enough to study Chinese history in the 70s when Mao was at the height of his powers, you know, it brought everything back. I mean, we left us racing off to our bookshelves to find the little red book. It really does say something about leadership. It says something about the way in which campaigns are portrayed, the sort of the presidential, almost imperial nature of political campaigning. You know, we're electing a king or electing a consul. I thought it was fantastic. I think it's one of the best pieces of campaign material I've seen.
Dale, your specialty is really English literature, and you can really unpack this movie, can't you? I mean, it relates to the Cantong ad on TV, if either of you have seen that, but there's a whole lot of other stuff in there. There's even George Orwell's 1984, isn't there? The variable, unvariable, or whatever it was.
Absolutely, the variable absolute, isn't it? Look, I loved it. And I think it actually has some serious points to be made, but they can be made to different people in different ways. And I actually think if there were more campaign ads like that, people would be much more inclined to tune in and understand what's going on than they would to tune out with the sorts of ads that we currently have. It was entertaining. It was fun to watch. I could watch it again and again, I think.
But it's not a campaign ad, is it? I mean, the person that's done that, the person that's done that doesn't work for either of the political or any of the political parties that I'm aware of. I mean, it seemed to me, looking at it, that part of what they were doing there was exploring their own ideas and coming to their own understanding of Kevin Rudd. And part of what made it so effective was the way they tied a whole lot of things together, but done it in a way that didn't tell you this is how you must think.
But the fact that it's not hitting you round the head is why it is very powerful. And I'm not sure I know what that person's political affiliations would be. You certainly don't have to belong to a political party.
I'd say they're an anarchist.
But I don't know. I'd say they're quite sympathetic to Kevin Rudd. I think they like him. There's nothing in that that isn't, even affectionately, ridiculing at times. It's a very nice ad.
Well, I didn't take that out of it. I think that ad may well come back to bite Kevin, not this time around, but in a couple of... It's the sort of stuff in there which over the period of a term in office comes to...
In 11 years' time, that the Liberal Party might be running bits of that ad.
So you think he'll do better than Wayne Goss? Wayne only lasted 6 years.
Yes, but he didn't have the koala road.
Have the koalas.
Wayne didn't speak Chinese.
And what can we say about the last ad? I mean, it really deconstructs the Liberal Party's method of running advertising, doesn't it?
Well, I'm not sure that it actually does. I mean, it makes you aware that people have principles and what they put into effect. And I think too few of our population are aware of what is behind something and how it gets constructed. So I think it's good from that point of view. But, I mean, I tuned out to it as well as I tuned out to,
It's actually exposing attack ads, which are things that are called attack ads or negative ads. Now, things that we know about attack ads are, first of all, they're very, very effective, and that's why the parties use them. Secondly, they actually encourage people to be disillusioned about politics. They actually make people more cynical about the political process, and so they have a very, very long-term corrosive effect. And I think that political parties who use attack ads are really doing democracy itself a disservice.
Okay, well, that's it from us this evening. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I'm told the audience is building, so keep telling your friends. And don't forget to go to YouDecide2007.org, our website, where you can tell us what you think, and you can tell us what to cover, and you can tell us in your own words, in your own terms. Thanks very much.